Yo, what's going on? Hey, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. How are you, my brother?
Ooh, oh man, it's good to see you. I am like running on adrenaline right now, and man, I have a whole ass shitstorm of a story to tell you about that happened this weekend. I can't wait to share it with you. The juicy details, especially during lunch.
Okay. Bro, you got me intrigued, bro. I thought you were saying that you had adrenaline in your soul, something Cody Rhodes, because you were up all night playing some video games, bro. Is that it?
That too. It doesn't help that there have been a series of events that have led to very late nights, me being up at very odd hours. But, you know, it is what it is. It's life, right?
Interesting, bro. You legit, is this a hook? Are you just trying to hype up the show because what's going on?
Absolutely. Well, no, there is truth to what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about in just a bit. But, you know, I first got to tease a bit, tickle the sack. You know what I'm saying?
I think to tickle a bit more because we're trying to wait for viewers to actually drop into the show lah. But you know what? We got a lot of preamble we can do. It's all good.
The crazy thing is, right before the stream, and I messaged you, it's like, hey bro, give me 5 minutes, and my camera was working up. There's like some weird shit going on with my camera. It's fine now. You can see me in full HD and everything, right? But when it happened, I was like, oh, is it because this episode we're going to review AEW Revolution? Tony Khan is sending us a warning, you know? Like every time we talk about AEW, the Overlord Khan is like, you sure you want to say that? You sure you want to say that? I'll give you warning first, huh?
Bro, I mean, he has his ears everywhere, bro. I think he's in the dirt sheets right now. Look at all the message boards right now about the review for AEW, bro. So I'm very curious.
You never know. Maybe he's in the chat. Maybe he is lurking. All right, everybody who's in chat right now, look at each other. And if you see a suspicious character, please rat them out.
Okay, we do not assume it's our listeners. Like our listeners are all cool. Our patrons are even cooler. So you know they're all cool people. They all love wrestling. I want to give a shout out as well to all of them, bro.
Yes.
Why? You know why? Because this last week, bro. Ever since we started giving out some giveaways on last week's episode. We've done our due diligence. My man Saleh, our intern, actually reached out and gave all those prizes away. Personally to all these people, and they are all now on our Patreon and our ticker sheet. So thanks guys for joining us.
I love it. We appreciate your support. It helps keep the light on. It helps us, doing what we do, which is, talk about wrestling. And we love talking about wrestling, right? And I would like to say also, like, just looking at social media, our social media in particular, when we posted about the Dante Chen thing, like yes, there's still the haters. There's still the, but he only jobber, the keyboard warriors who only have one or two things to say because their mind a bit small, a bit narrow, like, you know what I'm saying? But I take heart in the fact that the number of people who are supportive outweighs all these naysayers. They always say like the silent minority, right? They are the ones who are the loudest. Not silent, the loud minority, the silent majority. They are the ones sitting back going, okay, that's cool, but they don't really speak up. I think when we posted that video about us talking about Dante Chen, I think it spurred them to be like, hey, yeah, man, like, let's support our own guy, right? And I'm very heartened to see something like that.
Can I say two things about Dante Chen, bro?
Go ahead.
Okay, Dante Chen is a draw. He's a legitimate draw because every time we post a video about him, every time we post some content about him, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram, bro, the shit goes viral, bro. So Dante Chen is a trending topic, bro. So shout out to him for that.
Hey, much love from SG, from home. This is home.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Wait. Before that, part 2 as well. Part 2. He lasted longer than Zion Quinn, bro. So that's a win.
I was about to say that, like, Zion Quinn, who, I mean, look at him. He's a handsome fella, and we've seen him in NXT. Dude, poor guy went in to just take a spear and that's it.
Ayo, poor guy lah. Okay, but if we're talking about trivia, 10 years down the road, bro, when Braun Breaker, and I predict he's going to have an undefeated streak rivaling Goldberg on the way to the title. I think this is what they're going to do. They're going to build him up with squash matches all the way until the world title scene. And when the historians look back, who was the first person that debuted like that? Braun Breaker debuted on the main roster against?
Yes.
Dante Chen is going to be forever linked to him, bro. So that's cool.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe by that time, Dante would have worked his way up to the main roster and maybe he comes back to take revenge on that first loss on SmackDown.
Yeah. So, he is a draw and he lasted longer than Zion Quinn. So, I mean, I'm good. And you know what? I know for a fact. You talk about whether Tony Khan sits in and listens to the podcast. We know for a fact that Dante Chen listens to this podcast.
That's right. So a big shout out. I mean, it's nothing against Zion Quinn, obviously. You know, he went in there and he did what he had to do as well. The whole idea is to put Braun Breaker over because Braun Breaker is like the guy that they're trying to push right now, right?
Yeah, and you know, I think it's great that he's being highlighted in this way because you know what? When I watched that squash match, right, or the last two so-called matches that he's had, it's been a while since WWE built up a wrestler in this way, right? Very old school, almost old school in a way.
So what if you go by the quote unquote old school pattern, what we'll see is maybe a few more weeks of these squash matches. Maybe some of them will get some offense in here and there until like, okay, who's the first quote unquote gatekeeper, like the lower mid-card guy who might put up a fight? Like, who could that be? Just, spitballing on SmackDown. Just look at the landscape of SmackDown. Who could that be?
Yeah. I mean, for me, right, like if you really want to go the Goldberg method, you have a few NXT superstars, people who are like on NXT level up, and then maybe have like a NXT wrestler who's just recently made it on the main roster, maybe like a Cameron Grimes, right?
Okay.
Haven't
oh
really
my god,
done much.
Dude, that's kind of perfect because exactly. Cameron Grimes hasn't done much.
Yeah, and then you work your way up to like your, lower mid carders, maybe a bit of the LWO lah, a bit of the freaking Dragon Lees of the world, fucking JD McDonough if he's on SmackDown, you know what I mean? Build up roster by roster, like Mortal Kombat, you got all the levels.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Who do you? I mean, like it's very interesting to try to book this fella. Like, who could be his first like legit contender? Especially if you're looking at the SmackDown brand. Mid-card guy,
I would love for him to... I know a poor guy because he's a great seller, but I would love for him to beat up Austin Theory, Grayson Waller eventually, right?
Right. By the way, if you're in the chat, please swing by and say hi, all right? Let us know that you're here. Tovakin, it's good to see you. Always good to chat with everybody. In just a little while, we will be reviewing AEW Revolution. By the way, very quickly mention, if you haven't checked out our Patreon yet, feel free, whatever tier you want to sign up for, we appreciate you. Join our Discord. That's where we talk about wrestling outside of the podcast and stuff like that. And the community there is wonderful. Like, you got AEW, you got New Japan, you got WWE, whatever type of wrestling, local wrestling, there's always somebody in the know there and they'll fill it in on the details.
Yeah. You know what's great? Like, we are very clear, in our biases, right? People say, oh yeah, Mr. Young for very biased. What do you like this wrestler, hate this wrestler, blah, blah, blah,
Excuse me, what bias? We are objective journalists. We are like the Michael Coles of pro wrestling in Singapore.
Oh dear God. You know what's so funny? Like, I think I was listening to the press crowd and Tony Storm was complimenting the commentators, and she was saying like, I enjoy the East Coast West Coast banters of Excalibur and Taz.
What?
And I'm like, wait, what? That's an interesting analysis, but it makes sense, right? They're from LA and New York, and they kind of bring that thing together. So I thought it was funny, and it kind of reminds me of how we see wrestling as well, bro, Mr. Young.
It's cute, it's funny, it's also very telling. Meanwhile, WWE is over here delivering a global product.
Well, my point that I was trying to make is like, we may have our so-called biases, but there's a listener or somebody on the Discord who's a fan of another kind of wrestling. So like, for example, if you want to build up the AEW community in Singapore and talk about AEW, hey, we have the channel for it.
That's right.
There's a few people talking about it, in Japan, Impact. So like, don't just take it from us,
Yeah.
If you project your biases in the channels that we have on our Discord, right?
Sure. But most importantly, enjoy wrestling. Talking about enjoying wrestling, very quickly, we've given away some really cool things to our Patreons recently, right?
Yes.
I don't want to give away too much because it's still bubbling under. We are in the works, but we could be giving away more cool swag as we lead into WrestleMania season. I shan't say anymore. I've already teased too much. I tickle a little bit too long already. No nut on Tuesday.
No nut Tuesday.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I cannot. Bro, okay. Let me very quickly divert to why I'm like literally operating on fumes right now. So if I say controversial things today, ladies and gentlemen, just know that I've had like very little sleep for the past 4 days.
I'll be your timekeeper, don't worry.
Be my timekeeper. Okay.
I'll be your timekeeper.
Like, it was a literal shit show. So, my dog, Sophie and Chelsea, right?
Yes.
Sophie's the smaller one, the brown one. She ate something bad. I don't know what it was. I'm trying to figure it out still,
God,
right?
Okay.
So she had the lao sai, the diarrhea, the runs for a couple of days. And you know how her fur at the back is very long.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yes.
So, okay, it's not like the liquid, and I'm sorry for talking about this at lunchtime, but it is what it is, chocolate sauce.
Okay.
So, it's not like the consistency, it's not like water, but it's not solid. It's like paste, right?
Okay.
So, it gets stuck on her fur like crazy. And for whatever weird reason, she keeps having to go to the toilet 2 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m. So this past weekend, I've been waking up at these weird times, and it's not enough that, she goes out, takes a poop, and comes out. No, I have to give her a butt wash, a proper wash, right? And then blow dry everything. So it's like, and then, as if that's not enough, by around Saturday, she felt better already. So I was like, okay, wow, okay, not so bad. Like, only 2 nights, right? Saturday night, Chelsea also. Same thing. I was like, what is going on? What have you all been eating? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a bug, a stomach flu, whatever is going on. So, like, Saturday night, suddenly, Chelsea did the exact same thing. In the middle of the night, woke up, scratched the door to go out. I let her out. And she took a dump. And you know how dogs like to kick up? Like, after they poop, right?
Yeah, they do
the kick. So imagine the back of her fur is all covered, smeared in like this, like half wet poop, right?
Yes.
So she starts kicking, and this is that feeling of I just give up. I'm not even going to react. I'm just going to like stand there and just look at this.
Yeah. Okay.
Kick up of poo everywhere. I'm like, oh jeez.
Wait, this was all in the toilet, or was this like your bedside?
No, it's outside my living room.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh,
no,
wow.
not shoot. Shit. It's really shit.
Wow, bro. Okay, but they're toilet trained, right? That means they know that when they want to go toilet, they will literally go there.
Yeah, they go in the place. But when they're kicking up or when they have shit on the fur, it's like, they start. And here's the other thing. Yeah. It's not like, okay, I feel like I've trained my body in these past couple of days. The slightest or scratching of the door, those are their signs, right? Yeah. I will wake up instantly because I cannot. Because if I let them have the shit stuck on the fur, they start sitting down, they start walking around. What happens?
Spread it all out. We're gonna smear it everywhere, bro.
Exactly. Okay. So, but the most important thing is the doggos are fine now. They're good. They're okay. They are nice and healthy, solid poop. By today, but that's why. Okay, and that's the other thing. Yeah. And in a way, it's kind of wrestling related. I don't understand how parents deal with this. Because imagine parents deal with this on a daily basis. Like, newborns, infants, right? They are shitting themselves all the time. Like, and then you think about people like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Do they have a nanny? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure they do have a nanny to bring the kid around, right? While they're wrestling, they can't be taking care of the kid in between sports,
bro,
right?
Like, in the middle of the night, having to wake up, bro. As it is, I'm exhausted. When I got up this morning, I couldn't do anything. And how are they going out there wrestling and putting on shows and stuff like that? That's mad.
Yeah, I mean, it's respect. I mean, I honestly, for some reason, I thought you were gonna like segue to a Vince McMahon story.
Oh God! Oh no! I wasn't even thinking about that.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you know what? I'm so happy that it's settled. You didn't have to go to a vet or anything like. They just gave them what?
We did go to the vet for Sophie.
You went to the vet.
Yeah, got some probiotics, that kind of stuff. So
is there like a dog version of a pochai?
Got like Pepto-Bismol. There's a dog version, pink color liquid.
Okay. Yeah. That's sweet. So in a way, like it was just random. You like still do not know what they ate lah, essentially.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure it out. So we're slowly sort of getting them back on their regular diet.
Bro, it makes sense. I thought I was thinking like, maybe why you do a night stream? Maybe were you like keeping like also want to like double check as a way to keep track of your dogs?
Okay, so that's a different thing, right? So for those of you who follow me on Twitch, by the way, it's Mr. Young GG on Twitch. Come watch me play games. Last night, first of all, it was a bit of a sponsored stream, so we played Baldur's Gate 3. But I also wanted to go into 2 a.m. because 12 midnight was when WWE 2K24 released on early access. Exactly on the dot, 12 midnight, yes.
All right, awesome, bro.
And the funny thing is, right, you have people coming on the stream on TikTok and Twitch all the time asking, hey, how come you can play already? How come you can play? I'm like, bro, it's called time zones, bro. So our friends, obviously in New Zealand, so the New Zealanders, the Aussies, the Singaporeans were the first batch to start playing because we got it unlocked at 12 midnight, right?
Yeah, and of course, Mr. Young has The connections.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So I managed to play at 12 midnight, and thanks to everybody who like swung by to check out the gameplay. Shall we dive into our first topic? I guess the first impressions.
Yeah, let's talk about 2K24. So to be clear, official the early access is from this past midnight, right? So it's technically live. You can get early access right now, right?
Yes. So if you get the deluxe edition or the 40 years of WrestleMania special edition, if you bought those slightly more premium packs, you get 3-day early access, which has started for console. I'm not sure about Steam. So okay, it was funny because I had a few people from Singapore who were like, "Hey, I'm playing on PC, but Steam hasn't unlocked the early access yet." So for those of you who are or got it for Steam, please let me know in the chat if they have unlocked. They should have released it for early access on Steam already for PC.
I see. Okay, so console meaning, I mean, I know you're a PS5 guy, right? First of all, like, is there going to be any big differences between the consoles that people should be aware of?
No lah, it's just the button different.
Okay. Some people there's like a Sony Access or like a exclusive. There's no such thing lah.
No such thing. No, none like that.
Alright.
So yeah, the consoles exactly same gameplay. It's just the buttons, have different symbols. That's all. For PC, that's the one that I'm not sure if it's out yet for early access. It should be. If not, go and write in and complain to Steam.
All right. Okay, bro, talk to me because we've played WWE 2K23 and you and I both agree that it's actually one of their best versions of the game that they've put out, and like they really like set the bar last year. So talk to me, bro. How was 2K24?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? The core gameplay is already so solid. So what they've done is they've built on that core gameplay. Why change something that isn't broken? Not to say that they didn't add in new features, because they did. And okay, to me, it's the little details that really make the product pop this time around. So okay, you got your core gameplay, and then they added a few new mechanics like the sort of trading blows mechanic. We see it all the time. I beat you, you beat me. Ooh,
Booyah spot.
Yes, that spot, right? So you can actually pull that off in the game now. It's like a mini game. Sometimes if you don't want to do the chop, you can taunt. Like, come, hit me, like when someone chop you, you like, so you can pull that off as well, which is pretty fun. I think it's a nice additional wrinkle. And then there are these are like the minor details that really make the presentation. WWE is all about presentation, right?
Yep.
The entrances and everything. So I didn't even notice this. My chat noticed this, right? Like, for example, when the pyro goes off, you notice the camera shake a bit. I was like,
okay.
So
very subtle. Huh?
Yeah, it gives you a feel of like it's what happens in real life, right? There's a bit of a shake because of the reverberation. It makes the presentation a lot more alive. It feels like a presentation that you're watching on television.
Okay, really cool. One thing I've seen, like not at the actual like trailers for sure, but like some of the gameplay on YouTube. What's up with the hair mechanics? Is it really as distracting as I saw it?
Okay, here's the thing. Like, you will notice the hair looking a bit funky because I played Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy time, what's up? She got long hair, right?
Yeah.
That was the first thing I said. Wow, they still can't figure out the hair mechanics. But for the most part, if you play all the Buta fella, all the men, okay lah, not a problem lah.
Okay. But so the graphics is on par or still top notch.
The graphics still look as good as they've ever looked. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a huge step up from last year. It's pretty much the same from last year. But like I said, it's all these little tweaks in presentation that make the presentation feel more true to the television show, more authentic to the WWE presentation.
I see. Okay, really cool. So tell me about some of like the wrestlers that you use and like the stipulations that you tried playing in.
Bro, the funniest thing is the very first match, right? And I actually broke my streak because every single WWE 2K game I've ever played, the first wrestler I use, can you guess?
Oh, I mean, not Chris Jericho.
No, it's not. No, he's a guy that has been in the company forever.
Wow. Undertaker?
Nope.
Okay, wait, like a current star, right?
Current star, he has been in the WWE forever.
Randy Orton.
Yes. Randy Orton.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, he's just the most fun character to play because the RKO, and I've talked about this to death, the RKO is literally the best finisher of all time in pro wrestling, in my books.
Yeah, it's so fun to
Yeah.
not just see it but actually use it, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? You're like, oh, out of the blue, RKO out of nowhere, you know? And
Yeah.
talking about new mechanics, now there's a thing called super move, right? If you have 3 finishers stored up, certain characters have super moves. So Randy's super move is RKO off the top rope.
Oh yeah, okay. I've seen him do it before, yeah.
Yeah. So essentially what you can do is you can store up all your finishes for that huge finish. Like, I'm sure there are a lot more super moves I have not checked out yet. Bear in mind, guys, I've only played this game for about 2.5 hours. So I have I've only scratched the surface. You know, these are literally first impressions. Because at the end of the day, your boy had to go to bed at 3 o'clock. Okay, your boy was exhausted as F. But definitely going to play a little bit more today.
Yeah, I know there's like people are talking about the special guest referee matches.
Bro!
You did that, right? I know you tried it.
I played special guest referee. It was hilarious. So I played I was Triple H, and it was Cody. Oh, let me talk about the first match I did.
Okay.
I broke my streak.
Yes,
I didn't use Randy Orton. I wanted to finish the story. So the very first match I played was Roman Reigns versus
Cody
Stardust
Rhodes.
at WrestleMania.
Bro, Stardust, like literally you use the Stardust like outfit or what?
Dude,
Oh my god, you did.
If you get the one of the premium, the deluxe editions, right? You unlock Stardust, stunning or dashing Cody Rhodes.
The Nightmare Pack lah, essentially.
Yeah, the Nightmare Pack. Yeah, you get the Cody Rhodes with the face mask, the Phantom of the Opera mask, that one. But yeah, so I used Stardust and I beat Roman Reigns. Okay, because I've played WWE 2K for a long time, I know how to play the game, right? Okay, for veteran players, normal mode is easy AF. It's way too easy. So I put it on hard mode after that first match because I was like, okay, I need a bit of a challenge lah. And hard mode is actually quite good. I haven't tried Legendary because I remember Legendary being like, okay, no, I need to be playing this 24/7 to be good at Legendary.
Okay. So like in terms of like mechanics, gameplay, and like the special guest referee stipulation, did you enjoy the experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's the little tweaks and updates, right? It's like the FIFA game. It's any sports franchise game. Once you get the base mechanics down, you just add little tweaks to make the thing more, fun. So, like for example, weapons, right? Now you can throw the weapons at people. It's damn funny.
I love it.
The first time it happens to you, you're like, what the? Like the computer suddenly throw the chair at me. I'm running to the opponent, and all of a sudden, like, whap! I'm like, holy shit, you can do that now?
Okay, that's cool. What about like I'm sure you tried with like hardcore matches of like with weapons, right? Do you try any weapons or anything that stood out for you in terms of the weapon use?
I didn't actually. Funnily enough, I didn't try any super hardcore weapons, man. I did do the casket match. I did do the ambulance match.
Wow, casket match. Wow. Okay, brought it back.
The casket match and the ambulance match are very similar. In that the objective is to get your opponent to that spot, the hot spot, to throw them into the thing, and then do a little button mashing mini game.
Okay. So it's a button mash lah, like a pin as well.
I mean, you gotta beat the guy down, have his energy lower. So the ambulance match has 2 button mash games, whereas the casket is only the lid ma. The ambulance got 2 door ma.
Oh, so they play the button mash on each door.
No, you close the first door. If you win that one, you have to win the next one.
Okay, got it.
So ambulance match technically got extra one last chance, the second door. Also, with the ambulance match, you can climb on top of the ambulance.
So can you do like moves on top of the ambulance or throw people off the ambulance or something like that?
So what happened when I was playing Tiffany Stratton versus Alba Fire, NXT Vengeance Day or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then there was this one spot, I didn't even know the computer did it. Alba Fire threw me off the ambulance and then instantly took a dive off the ambulance on top. I was like, whoa!
What move is that?
Yeah, I know. That was like, okay, so there are going to be a lot of moments of that, but like any video game, sometimes the tracking is a bit wonky.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, I tried to replicate this spot. I tried to throw her off. Every time I whip her into the edge of the ambulance, she just stopped there. I'm like, what the
Okay,
so,
I get it.
You know what I mean, right? So there are some kinks to be worked out lah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same issue with Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell, every time I want to whip them, they always like, stop right there. Or like,
it's
so annoying.
Somehow they can yeet me off. It's damn irritating. But like I said, it's early days. There's obviously so much more to dig through. Let me just quickly think of what other core mechanics I can think of that has changed. Like I said, most of the core mechanics are still there. Special guest referee. Okay, so with special guest referee mode, right, you have a referee meter.
Oh, okay.
So
what does it really do?
If you do too many things that are against the rules of a referee, after you've depleted the referee meter, means you're doing a poor job. You are fast counting, you are beating up the contestants.
So
You
they
will be
grade the
replaced.
referee. They grade the referee.
So once you deplete your referee meter, the WWE officials will send out a replacement referee to kick you out.
Okay, wait. So if you're like the special guest referee and you like beat up on one of the wrestlers or what?
Yeah.
That will affect your performance, is it?
Basically, anything you do that's not within what a referee does. So you can literally go down for the count. You can get in front of wrestlers and stop them, admonish them, count the count out. You can count very fast. You can count very slow. It's up to you, right? You can.
Is there prompts for each action?
Yes. So it's very easy to do. Oh, and you can switch between referee mode and wrestler mode. So you're doing referee, right? You're doing your ref stuff. And then when you press the trackpad, you suddenly become wrestler mode. You just start hantaming people. You can
you can start doing your finisher for no reason.
Yeah, and
that's
then
really, really cool. Okay.
You time it so that it's just nice. You don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, they'll replace you. But here's the crazy thing: they don't replace you immediately. So let's say you deplete your referee meter, right? Mm-hmm. The screen will give you a warning. Okay, WWE officials are going to replace you. So you better end the match before you get replaced. So you have a small little window of time to beat up your, the guy you're trying to screw over first and help the other guy get the win. If not, you will get replaced. Now, when you're replaced, you're not out of the game. You become a manager.
Oh, okay, that's smart. That's a way to keep you in the game still, right?
Yes. Until you interfere too much, then the new ref can eject you.
Okay. You know what? They should have this mode in FIFA, bro. They should grade the referee. The referee terrible, right? Out you go, bro.
Haley, it's good to see you. McJohn, Mouse, Irvin, Muhammad Daniel, all good to see you off here.
What's up, guys? We're just talking about WWE 2K24. And okay, I want to talk about my favorite mode, right? Because I do not know whether you played it. But talk to me about my GM mode, bro.
Okay, so that was the last thing I played. I had half an hour to go. Oh, by the way, I streamed to 2:30, 2:20 like that AM. Oh, so tired. Wow. I can't. The old man in me is like cursing, like, why did you do that? But we did it for the WWE to try out the new game. And so I can give you my first impressions, right? GM mode, okay, there's a lot that's the same as last year, obviously, but some new nuances. First of all, you know how in GM mode, when you want to go and scout for new talent, you can just open up an entire pool. It's random, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to scout for talent, you have to pay a fee to talent scouts to scout for talent.
Okay, so they add another, like a blocker.
Yeah.
Another level.
Yeah. So let's say you want to, and you can filter by like what level of superstar you want. If you want a low level person, you only pay $5,000. If you want a high level main event star type, you have to pay like a high amount. So, it makes it a little bit different. So you don't immediately get access to like an entire pool of wrestlers to choose from randomly. No, you have to quote unquote send talent scouts. So that's new.
Just to be clear, at the start of the draft pool, it's still like a random group, and this is after the career starts. Then you can do the talent scouting, right?
Yes, correct. It's exactly the same as the previous one. So there are some new managers. Tyler Breeze is a manager now. If you don't want to create your own wrestler, William Regal is back. Interestingly.
Okay, wait. So as the GM choices, right?
Yeah, GM choices. So you got no Shane. Interesting. So you got obviously
no Steph as well.
Got Steph, Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville, Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman. You can live out your ECW dreams. Eric Bischoff is back. Tyler Breeze, Xavier Woods. Is there anybody I'm missing out?
Bro, my favorite GM is not in, bro.
Who?
Nick Aldis, bro.
Actually, no. I think he's too new. Well, I mean, you can create him lah. You can take in a custom wrestler to be your GM. What?
Yeah, I mean, can we agree? I mean, to me, he's like the most interesting GM in WWE right now. Personally, for me. Okay, cool. So you have the one person. Did they take out Kurt Angle? Because last year they had Kurt Angle.
Yes, they took out Kurt Angle. That's what everyone noticed. Hey, where is Kurt Angle?
Oh man, okay.
That's GM mode. I didn't play Universe mode because I didn't have time. Okay.
Wait, there's one more feature I heard about trading wrestlers. Is that a thing in GM mode?
I haven't seen it. I only played one like I only set
okay.
up one card, so I haven't had time to really dive into it. But
okay.
along the way, by next week we'll probably have more. Like a full reveal probably will come next week.
Probably. I mean, I'm gonna definitely play through, and you can cut clips. Let's do it.
Oh my god, bro! I forgot the one guy. I even picked him as the GM.
What?
Holla!
Oh my god, Teddy Long is back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. What's up, player?
Did you book a tag team match? That's the question.
No, but I booked people to face The Undertaker.
Yes, he went one-on-one with The Undertaker. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I'm definitely gonna get Teddy Long and SmackDown there. Perfect.
But it's cool, right? Like you got Eric Bischoff if you want to relive WCW, you got Heyman to relive ECW. So yeah, there are a lot of options there.
One of the shows from last year was you can choose to be a GM of WCW. So
yes,
is there new shows as well?
Not.
Is that ECW, for example?
Yeah, ECW.
Okay, so that's ECW.
Yeah, WCW. So it's cool. I mean, detractors will say, "Oh, these features should have been in last year. They're just adding it now." Like you can't have everything all at once.
Yeah,
this is the nature of the industry, like it or not, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I think that creates that loyalty. I know FIFA also has the criticism where they just add a few different things. What's the point of buying a new one, right?
Yeah.
But to me, like for example, my GM mode was something that is close to my heart because for the last 10, 20 years before we had my GM mode make a return, right, at the start of 2022 or something, we went a long stretch without my GM mode and everyone's clamoring like, bro, we want our GM mode, we want GM mode. And then now it's back. I'm so happy that in any iteration that it is, I think it's fine, right?
Wow, but here's the thing also. If you really want the hardcore sim, you got universe mode. And to be honest, I think if I was still in college, I would be playing the piss out of universe mode. This is how hardcore wrestling fan I was, right? I had a pen and paper, there was no mode.
Wow, okay.
But I had I would write down my roster for Raw and SmackDown, and I would, do fantasy cards, and I would play out those matches. So technically universe mode has always existed. You just had to do it on pen and paper. Somewhere,
I didn't want the effort from
Yeah.
And that's why GM mode is perfect for me.
No, bro, that's why when you are in the funny thing is when you're in school, you're very free, you don't have to worry about work, right? So you had a lot of freaking time to do this bullshit. Now, as a working adult, it's like, bro, I just want to play exhibition match only. That's all I care about.
Yeah, man, bro. It's even harder for me. I have to share my PS5 with my younger brother. So I barely even have time to play if I could.
Bro, whoop his ass in GM mode.
I would love to. Okay, but the thing about GM mode is every year I will read up all the mechanics, right? And why I brought up trading wrestlers, because last year you can't trade a wrestler unless it comes out as a random a random specialty, right? You can get to choose a Raw wrestler at random.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact this year round you can actually do actual trades between people on your roster and a member of a wrestler from another roster if you choose.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talk about sleepless nights. This game is going to make me have sleepless nights, bro. It is. Okay,
right.
Very quickly, let's touch on the My Rise. I haven't touched that yet.
Okay.
There's another huge time sink because I will customize the piss out of my character. It'll take me 5 hours just to create a character.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that they have original storylines this time around as well.
Yes, for the men and women.
Okay. Is there something to do with challenging Roman Reigns? Because I'm just basing it off the trailer that I saw.
Yeah. No, because Roman Reigns apparently has to step away or something like that, and then the tribal landlord is going to come back. I don't know about the tribal landlord, bro. I don't know about that. And a lot of the lines seem recorded, so it's not just and then text showing up. There's actual voice lines.
That's great. So you actually have the wrestlers voicing their lines.
I just hope they didn't half-ass it. Some years, the audio, hey, this fella recording on his iPhone in his toilet at home.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
Do you remember? I can't remember which year it was, but there was, Edge was really bad in some of these. It sounded...
Was it a COVID year, perhaps?
Maybe.
They couldn't get them out?
Maybe, yeah. They couldn't get them to the studio, so this fella just record on his phone, and it sounds so bad.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about that, but I personally didn't like last year's game because I tried to play like the lock or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it just bored me. Like I didn't even bother to complete it. So they need to have a great hook. And like I have played like other storyline modes. Like for example, FIFA had a storyline mode. NBA 2K had a storyline mode where they even got Idris Elba as like a special
coach,
character who plays as a coach. Yeah, like things that I think it's fun because I love it when they take storylines and created it. Because last time when I was younger, SmackDown versus Raw, that was like the shit, bro. Like, what can you defeat the Undertaker or all the crazy nonsense that they came out with in the older games. So I wish they to do that as well.
I think pro wrestling lends itself to this type of storyline telling better than I've played the NBA like quote unquote your story mode. It always seems a bit weird to me. It's like, okay, I get it. But maybe, because I don't follow the sport quite as close, so I'm not aware of the drama that does exist. So maybe this appeals to the hardcore fans, right? So here's the thing. Here's the thing about 2K24. And I guess they've learned from their basketball stuff as well. There are so many modes for so many people. There's definitely something that you will enjoy. Like, for example, the working adult in me, I just want to be able to load it up and run some 1v1 exhibition matches. Maybe play a rumble, that kind of thing. It's perfect for me. The college me would love the hell out of Universe mode and My GM mode. There's My GM mode, and then Universe is like if you really want to dive deep and set up your own EFED, that kind of thing, right? I would have loved that in my college days. And then there's the Showcase mode. Okay, Showcase mode, I feel like is one of those modes. If you are a fan of it, great. If you're not a fan of it, there's other stuff to play. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
Because Showcase mode can be a bit of a chore because you have to watch through the cutscenes. But, okay, the thing is, I played one match in the Showcase mode. And the irritating thing is if you screw up somehow, you have to restart the whole damn thing. And it takes very long. But it's like, I feel like it's for people who may not have lived through a lot of these moments. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
And this year they are going through, I think it's 20 matches that have happened across WrestleMania. 21 matches.
Yeah.
What kind of sucks is they didn't start at WrestleMania 1. I was like, why? Andre and Hogan are in the game. Why not let us play through? Maybe the match itself was too shit for them to craft the memory or whatever, right?
Okay, so if you're willing to share a spoiler, what was like the first match they actually displayed?
WrestleMania. Okay, well, to be fair, it was a classic. It was WrestleMania 3. Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man.
They started off with that.
Yes. So I was like,
do you get to choose which wrestler that you play as?
No. So you choose as Ricky. It's showcase mode, right? So essentially you have to do objectives.
The winner, right?
Well, not quite the winner, but it's objective based. So okay, do a hard Irish whip. Okay, throw your Macho Man into the ringside area. Do 5 combos. You know, that sort of objective driven. Which may or may not be everybody's cup of tea. They still interweave it with the movie, the footage, which is a nice touch. I think it's great for people who want to relive the nostalgia.
Yeah. Again, if you have a lot of time on your hands, this mode is perfect. Because I remember Rey Mysterio's showcase mode 2 years ago, John Cena's one last year.
Yeah.
All of it was fun. But again, I gave up like early on because like after a few matches, like you said, you fail in an objective, your whole match gets thrown out. You have to restart again, right?
It feels like a chore, right?
Yes, it does feel like a chore. So like,
I remember the only reason I finished all the showcase matches was to unlock everything.
But right now you don't need to finish showcase matches. You can kind of unlock it by buying from a paywall, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got the 40 years
Deluxe.
of WrestleMania edition, so I guess like you kind of paying to unlock. Yeah, whatever. Don't judge.
There was this criticism that when it was the WrestleMania, I think 2K15 or 2K14, where it was 30 years of WrestleMania, they actually had more showcase matches compared to this time round.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have time to look. There's already so much going on in the game. Let's say if you had 40 matches, wow, this mode will be. Granted, it would for the diehards, it would be like lots of content, right?
Yep.
But I think at the end of the day, they are just, looking at the average person, the working adult like me. They're thinking about people like us, bro. They have us in mind. They're like, okay, you don't have time to go through 40 matches. Let's just do 20. I think that's fine.
Yeah, probably that's the case. Well, at the end of the day, I think it's a great way for casuals to kind of learn about WrestleMania. And I think it ties well with, WrestleMania 40 is a big deal. It's a big milestone. So why not make it part of the game? Yeah, for sure. Overall, is there any other mode that we missed out on? That you want to talk about?
There's probably more that I missed out on, and we'll get to it. Like create a character,
my faction.
My faction. Oh, okay. Look, people criticize certain modes, right? But I think there's one thing that's unanimous about these 2K games.
What?
Nobody likes the My Faction mode. Or in NBA, it's called My Team or My something. The one where you have to get the cards. It's like their attempt at monetization. Nobody likes that mode.
Funnily enough, people in FIFA love FIFA Ultimate Team.
I thought that is universally panned as like a cheap cash grab.
It is, but some people can't help it because they love. Okay, because right, for FIFA it's a bit different. Only in this mode can you unlock legends of the game. So like a David Beckham gold card, that kind of stuff.
No, but I hate the idea that you could get a bronze David Beckham. Then you have to go and try to get a gold David Beckham, which is better. But like, it's David Beckham. Like, why do you have tiers of certain characters? It was always very irritating to me. So yeah, it's like I got a, for example, last year's one, I got like a bronze Roman Reigns. Huh? How come he sucks? It's Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Again, it's the whole objective of a game, right? Is to get you to invest in it and to keep playing it and to have it replayability. So they're doing their job, I guess.
Okay. The one thing I will say though, the monetization is not as egregious in My Faction. It's not as egregious as like what you just mentioned.
Other games,
the other game or the FIFA, what they call Ultimate Team mode.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I would say if as long as they don't force you to like pay $10 for one card kind of thing for every single thing that you want to unlock, then I think it's fine. Yeah.
Or just don't play the mode. That's the thing about WWE 2K24. There are just so many modes to play. Why must you force yourself to play that? Go and have fun in My GM, create your own universe, customize it however the hell you want. Look, I think that if you haven't played the 2K games, this would be a great time to get in. And I'm speaking from a PS5 perspective, right? I can only compare it to last year and the previous year in terms of the PS5 game. The load time is significantly less.
Ooh,
okay, this was one of the things that was always a gripe to me. In between matches, like loading a match, it's not as long as 5 years ago, but it's still annoying to just sit there and wait.
Yeah,
the load time is a lot less. It's noticeable.
Bro, that's a game changer as well, bro. Having that, is that the reason why it's taking so long for me to load my game? Because I'm downloading it since morning, bro.
Your internet, bro. Hey, I'm surprised that, are you still downloading the game? Isn't it interfering in our stream?
No, I think it's done already. It's just that by the time it's done, my brother just came back from his night shift, so now he's playing the PS5. I didn't even get to play, bro.
Basket. Get him to play WWE with you, bro. It's a family game. It's a fun two-player game. Also, you tag team match 1v1. Let's go, bro.
Yeah, I would love to create a wrestler because that was the thing that I used to do after school.
Yeah.
The whole day in school, I will daydream. What wrestler and what finisher should I make there? And then go home, I do it. So I hope I'll have the time to try that as well. Overall, bro, impressions, first impressions of the game. Just to wrap this up.
Like I said, if you haven't played the 2K games in a while, this is the one I think you jump in on. Because in the past few years, they've gone from strength to strength, right? We all remember that there was the 1 year where it just fell off a cliff. But then once they started rebuilding and then improvements from last year, I think it's definitely worth the grab.
All right. I mean, I'm excited. And I know that, you've played it and I will probably be able to get to play it soon. And hopefully our listeners get to play it really soon, Mr. Young?
Oh, yeah. Well, WrestleMania is heating up. You never know. There might be things happening where you might be able to get the game from your boys. Just saying.
I mean, whether you choose to join us on Patreon or you want to just listen to us, there's ways to get it. So, you know, stay tuned.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too. I was like, maybe this is the year we do a tournament.
Ooh, tournament between with our listeners?
Do I don't know, I feel like this year could be the year because of we'll brainstorm it some other time.
Okay. I'll let Mr. Young take the lead on this because this is I think your forte. So let me know, man. I'm happy to follow your lead and support, bro. Let's go.
In the meantime, though, okay. Once again, everybody, thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday afternoon. I hope everybody's doing good. Just a quick sidetrack. I know it's super random, but are you going to Taylor Swift?
No. Man. I spent my money on Coldplay already. So
cannot. Bro, I got money to spend, also cannot spend trying to get those tickets, right?
Oh, you've been trying to get tickets?
Yeah, I know they just released new seats as well, but I keep looking at Instagram. It's not like, okay, I wouldn't consider myself a huge fan, but it's like one of those artists you have to watch once in your life, right?
Okay.
I keep seeing clips of a concert on my TikTok, on my Instagram. I'm like, wow, the FOMO is real, bro.
Bro.
Like, you go on Mothership, you go everywhere. Like, every other article is about Taylor Swift. So I'm like, wow, this constant Taylor Swift, I cannot get away from it, bro.
Bro, stay strong, my brother. Stay strong. I have wrestling to keep me from the demons of Taylor Swift. I have no judgments or bias against her. The only thing that I've been enjoying in terms of her content is apparently there's this one part during one song where like one of the dancers will come out and start saying Singlish words.
We are never ever getting back together, right?
Yeah.
There's the part in the song where she just talks some stuff about like, we are never getting back together. And then I believe the dancer's name is Cameron or something like that.
Cameron Saunders.
Yeah. He will, in whichever state or whatever place he's in, say something colloquial. In our case, the first day he said, no lah. The second day he said, siao lah. The third day he said, walao eh. So the comment section popping off, right? Say, okay, fourth day, say KNNCCB.
By the time sixth day, Pokemon.
Cannot. PG lah.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's clearly pandering. I mean, it's WWE 101, right? Pro 101. Pander to the home audience if you're a babyface. So
yeah.
I mean, Taylor Swift is might be a wrestling fan, perhaps. I'm reaching here clearly, but
yeah.
You know how to play with the crowd.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she is a superstar performer after all. Okay. So that aside, WWE 2K24, I'll try to play it on my gaming stream as well. So if you want to see more of it, come join me there. Updates always on Discord, stuff like that.
Yeah, man, go check out Mr. Young, and I'm sure you're gonna have like clips out on this as well. So I'm looking forward to you sharing them.
After I take a goddamn nap, I tell you what.
Oh yeah, you should. Okay. Speaking of something that made you have a goddamn nap, Nola. AEW Revolution 2024, bro. So
wow, that's how we're leading into it. Okay.
No, we are not. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Okay. First of all, I told myself, right, I haven't watched AEW for a while, right? And I know sometimes AEW, even though their TV might be cold, but they always somehow deliver on their pay-per-view, or at least have something newsworthy or noteworthy to watch from the pay-per-view. So I watched it without expectation, and of course I saw the clips of what happened during Sting's match, but like I tried my best to like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna watch from first match to the last match without interruptions and try to see it from a wrestling point of view and kind of be objective, right?
You managed to tahan the whole way through in one sitting.
Yeah, I did.
You have better stamina than I do. Maybe it's a youth thing. But that being said, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. And we've literally said this many times. I've said this. The best way to watch AEW is just watch the pay-per-view. Don't watch the TV. Because you know that TV is not going to accomplish shit. Right? They are literally, and I don't mean this as a pejorative or an insult. They are a very well-funded indie show. That's how indie shows work. You don't really follow the storylines. You just go to see the big moments because you're only watching it once a month.
Yeah, and also I think that's how TK books his stuff. Because I think he books his books his card based on what are the so-called dream matches or the matches that he would love to see. And then I think he works his way backwards. So the landing point is the pay-per-view itself.
Yeah. As opposed to building story, because he doesn't know how to, or he doesn't want to. We've talked about it, right? He doesn't want to let other people do the booking. See, for better or for worse, it's a very indie mindset. Okay, we are just working towards the big event. The in-between to him is not important. Whereas for the WWE, the in-between is what leads to the pay-per-view or the one match being so heated, right?
Yeah. I've thought about it, right, Mr. Young, and I was thinking to myself, like, having an indie mindset, is that a good or bad thing? Because there is a place to have an to be an indie, right? Like, or to just cater to a certain
Yep.
audience,
Yeah.
right?
Well, okay. See, the counter argument there is you're ruining the business for other people. You are making when you put that on TV, it's fine if it's off TV, right? It only appeals to the diehards anyway. But if it's on TV, there will be people who will, just stumble onto it and think, oh, this pro wrestling thing very violent, very corny, very acting,
Well, but that's also a lot of the criticism that probably somebody who watched Attitude Era, who never seen Attitude Era, will be like, wow, why is this so violent? Why are they doing all these crazy things? Like,
but
it's the audience, right?
The Attitude Era had charismatic stars. AEW doesn't have that. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
comparing to WWE,
comparatively,
yes.
like they have lah. Okay, yeah, but when you compare to the Attitude Era, like it feels like a cheap facsimile of the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Well, but when watching the pay-per-view, I realized that, okay, like, because I've watched Ring of Honor when it was in its heyday, 2005 and all that kind of stuff, where it's just you're watching it for the matches, you're not watching it for storylines.
Yeah.
And when I came into AEW with that mindset, like Revolution, honestly, right off the bat, I'm gonna say something that might surprise you. I actually enjoyed this pay-per-view. I enjoyed this pay-per-view. Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that will surprise you even more.
What, Mr. Yang?
No, I did not. I enjoyed the matches.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the matches for what they were. Like like going to an indie show, watching it in a vacuum. If you know what I mean, and still for whatever reason they do a shit job at storytelling in long-term forms, like production with video packages and stuff like that. I don't know why they don't do it. I hate that, Excalibur just spouts a bunch of crap before a match and expects us to understand the long storied history behind Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson, for example,
Yeah, but I think in this pay-per-view, they actually addressed that issue because they did give, pre-match promos before each match, and that helped a lot. Like, because for example, I had no idea what the hell was happening between Eddie Kingston and freaking Bryan Danielson. I thought the thing ended, right? And then, they continue and all that kind of stuff. So, if you watch AEW and just focus on the matches and they have all the shenanigans out the window, I mean, no stupid like gimmicks or like, referees and that kind of stuff, you can actually enjoy the match.
So you know why, right? You know why? That is more, and we've said this before, that is more because of the people in the ring. The ring generals, the people who have the talent and the experience to pull off their match within that context. So for example, let's start right off. Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. Obviously, this was supposed to have been Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland. Unfortunately, Edge is out injured, right? I like watching this match. I was like, the only thing I could think of was, man, I wish they would just get rid of Kill Switch and Mother Wayne and Nick, all this extra overbooked nonsense. Like, I get that Christian Cage is a heel that needs to be smarmy and cheat, but good, it's Daniel Garcia. It's the dancing guy.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, I know him as a dancing guy, as a GAS guy.
Yeah.
But then, like, in the amount of TV that I've missed, apparently Daniel Garcia has been getting hot and is like a up and coming star and like is being taken seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you see that when you were watching this match, or you still saw him as a dancing guy?
That's the problem with a dancing gimmick, like a silly, like a Fandango or a Shanky, right? It's very hard to shake.
Yeah.
And I get that Christian Cage is trying to at least give him a bit of a rub. But to me, it makes Christian Cage look like a jackass that someone of his stature couldn't beat him clean.
Well, you know what's crazy? I actually preferred when Daniel Garcia was like the Dragon Slayer, where he was like a no-nonsense, more of a technical guy wearing, trunks. Like, that dancing gimmick was fun, but it actually made him more of a mid-carder.
Yes.
If he was like that serious guy again, where he was feuding with Bryan Danielson, I think I could have taken him more seriously in this match if I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah. And like I said, there was just way too much. Matt Menard tried to come out to help him, and then there was the whole... It's like classic Tony Khan overbooking. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. But I liked it when it was just,
Christian and Daniel in
there. Being a
Yeah.
heel, milking the audience. And, when Daniel Garcia was fighting underneath, Daniel Garcia actually has a very sympathetic babyface vibe, if you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, but another thing that I wanted to say was Daniel Garcia really needs to develop more of like okay, because I know he did one spot where he kind of like trusted his pelvis
That's his
when he was
dance
dancing.
lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when doing the dance, right? And like that was the thing that made him pop or made the crowd pop for him. But that can't be the thing that defines his
No.
character. You know what I
See,
mean?
that's the over reliance on the pop.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like I said, the comparisons to a Shanky. If you get saddled with a dancing gimmick, that's the end of your career. Fandango, he's doing the dancing thing. That's his gimmick. Like you never get taken seriously after. It takes a lot to get over crap like that.
It is tough lah. Like Rikishi had to turn a heel, run over Stone Cold, and say he did it for The Rock to be taken seriously after that, bro.
Yeah, but to be honest, even after that, it was like okay lah. He was mid-card heel at best.
Back to dancing. I like the match itself. It's just that maybe I came into it thinking that Adam Copeland would have made a return and screwed up and got Daniel Garcia the win, but instead they went for like a route where he tried his hardest, but in the end, ultimately failed in getting the title.
He was never going to win the title because it was always going to be Cage versus Copeland for the title at some point, right? So this is a side quest. But as far as side quests are concerned, at least he tried to make Daniel Garcia look good. So
and Daniel Garcia is a young star. I think he's young enough to still be made into something more. So nothing wrong with this match per se. Really, it was fine as an opener in my opinion lah.
Let's move on. Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. Okay, I wonder if this should have started the match. Started the quote unquote main card, because
honestly, I agree. I agree with you, bro.
So are we saying that AEW pay-per-views usually you don't need to start on time, you can come in a bit late? Because the first match always seems to be like whatever, like a warm up.
Yeah, it's so weird because I think you should always go for a hot opener, right? And Eddie Kingston, ever since he won the Continental Championship, supposedly is like a more featured performer at this point in time.
Yeah.
Even though the weird thing is his finals was against John Moxley, right?
Yeah.
But then his heat is still with Bryan Danielson and this whole I need to shake your hand, you don't deserve my respect kind of thing. Very interesting.
Eddie Kingston, right, has when you put him on the mic, he has that X factor, that magnetism. Like you look at him, he doesn't look like much. He looks like he would be selling sandwiches in New York, at some shop, right? Like at a meat deli or whatever, wearing a freaking apron. He doesn't look impressive, but when he talks, you feel the emotion in the back. He's one of those very natural talkers, and which is crazy to me that he isn't more over than he is. A lot of that has to do with the booking. So as a match, once we talked about it again, within the confines of you kind of know what the story is. You watch the match as it is. It was a great match.
Yeah, it was. It was great because they did tell some stories about how leading up to this match, Bryan Danielson was beating up his heroes, the Jun Akiyama, blah blah blah, and then in the match itself, he literally was targeted, Bryan Danielson targeted his hand, right?
Yeah.
And then he was trying to pay homage and do all his exploder suplexes, but because of his injury, he was selling it.
Yep.
And Bryan Danielson smelled blood, and he went to work on the hand. It was really a well wrestled and thought out match, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. And it's Bryan Danielson. We've always known how incredibly talented he is. And now that he's on his quote-unquote retirement tour, right? I guess he gets to work with the people he wants to and then put them over. And it's good to see, but okay, guys, if you've been watching the product AEW Dynamite and Rampages and Collisions, do they feature Eddie Kingston heavily? Because why isn't he more over?
Well, I clearly am not the right person to ask because literally the last time I saw him was the Continental Classic when he won, and that's it, right? And then after that, I have never heard anything from him since. My problem with this match is, okay, Bryan Danielson is supposedly, a veteran, and this is his retirement tour, right?
Yeah.
He's losing all the time. He's losing all the big matches, right? He hasn't won a championship, so
I think that's fair. I think, okay, I know he's not John Cena level famous. John Cena comes back, loses, leaves, right? That's that's his retirement tour. But within the community of internet wrestling fans, which is what AEW is targeted at, I think that Bryan Danielson is doing the same thing. And I think it's fine because they respect him. It's not about wins and losses for Bryan Danielson.
So is it like a Shawn Michaels second half run where he just comes back and he just loses all the time?
Yeah. I think he has built enough goodwill in the industry to be able to take these losses. It's not like, okay, so to compare, right? It's not like a Chris Jericho.
Oh, okay, we can talk about him.
So Chris Jericho randomly loses to whoever, right? Like Action Andretti, and there's no follow up after that. So it's like a waste of a loss.
Okay, I get it. I'm not saying that him losing against Eddie Kingston is wasted, because I mean Eddie Kingston, him making Eddie Kingston, shaking his hand, giving him the respect is a great payoff to that story, and then Eddie Kingston, gets elevated, right?
But once again, I just hope that it doesn't go to waste. But there's always this lingering
follow up
fog. Yeah, there's always this lingering fog, right? We've seen it happen year after year after year. Somebody gets hot, but they get hot in spite of the booking. They get hot because of what they do, and it's never followed up on, and it just
I agree. Hey, I think we got somebody from the UK, bro, on our live chat, bro. I've never seen his name before. We're Spot 1. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you swinging by.
Yeah, man, love it. Okay, so what he says is that he didn't think that Bryan Danielson would retire because he would have won the championships. I mean, it makes sense. I still personally don't get the Continental Championship, because if you win the title, does that mean that you won without even having to go through a tournament? So
yeah, you win all 3 of the belts, I guess.
Yeah, and like, do you just win the championship, or you win the New Japan Ring of Honor stuff as well? So like, not very clear to me. Maybe I'm missing out the whole context of it on TV or something. But yeah, Eddie Kingston is still the champion. He's holding another belt in AEW. And
well, look, and we've leveled this criticism at AEW before, right? Y'all need to make things simpler for the casuals like us, who don't need to have a PhD to try to understand what the hell is going on. Yeah, I think that helps the product tremendously.
Yeah, but again, some AEW fans don't like it when they say that, oh, why you never educate yourself, or why you don't. You know that criticism is apparent, right?
Let's not get into that. Like, it's the whole I'm in my little club and I enjoy it so much. Stay away from my club. I don't want it to be too mainstream. It's the old I've known this band since they were super indie, but now that they are mainstream, they've sold out. It's like, okay, whatever. Cut it with the gatekeeping. Let's move on. Okay, so, oh boy, here we go. The All-Star Scramble. Wasn't this the meat match?
The Meat Madness match was struck off the card because there were some injuries for the people.
So there are not enough meat, so we got some vegan options now.
You got platters, smaller platter, medium size.
So okay, as well. For your main entrees, you have Wardlow, which is the prime rib, the beef, right? And then you got Chris Jericho, who's maybe at this point the asparagus. No, let's call him the carb. He can be the potato, okay? He's still a veteran.
He got the potatoes right now,
Yeah, and then you got Powerhouse Hobbs. Let's call it a lamb shank. Lance Archer, he's a nice big, saucy.
No, don't say saucy. Don't call him a saucy. Come on.
I ran out of meats to talk about. Anyway, yes, Lance Archer. Apparently, Jake the Snake is still with him, which is I cannot take Lance Archer seriously, because he's really that journeyman that shows up once in a while when TK needs him, and then he F's off. Whatever. Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, and Dante Martin.
Yeah. First of all, I was like, who the fish is Magnus? But apparently he's from CMLL. So he's part of that CMLL invasion of mass wrestlers that's been coming through.
Question, from what I've heard, I haven't been paying too much attention to AEW, too much of a commitment. Is Forbidden Door supposed to be a CMLL AEW thing?
It could be a New Japan, CMLL, and AEW thing. So it's literally, it's Forbidden Door, right? Any promotion, perhaps. So,
sure. I thought this was because it was a multi-person match, it was an overbooked mess. You can't really. The only thing good about this match was that Wardlow won, and we all know that Wardlow needs a push.
Yeah. This was my least favorite match of the card. It was just there's so much things that happened to the point that it was boring. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the match. the problem is there's a lot of people in these matches that are very cold and hasn't been pushed for a long time. And then there's a few people that are sparks, that people care about, like Hook or, Wardlow. The right man won for sure,
Yeah.
right?
Speaking of Sparks, by the way, I know this is totally random. Where is Ricky Starks? Is he injured? Why is he not on the card?
Ricky Starks and Big Bill is losing the tag team title just lepak on corner already lah. Back on the line, bro. And he's one of your biggest stars, and to me, he should be doing much. You know what? He should be in the spot fighting against Christian Cage as opposed to Daniel Garcia if it was up to me.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's probably he was friends with CM Punk. He was in camp CM Punk, so he's now getting forgotten.
Do you feel anything about your boy being in a meaningless mid-card nothing match? Your favorite wrestler, bro. What's up with that?
See, you say that, it's like you're trying to hurt my feelings. You know, I've been a fan of Chris Jericho for the longest time, but I've made it very clear, okay? In the past couple of years, Chris Jericho's stock and the things that he's done have been pretty insignificant. And yeah, him being here, just like, I wish he would just disappear for 2 years. You know, like we've always talked about, right? Sometimes you just need to go away, learn a new hold, reinvent yourself. And Chris Jericho has always prided himself as the king of reinvention, right? So yeah, why not take another? It's like Fozzy not touring anymore. What's the deal?
No, that's the thing, right? In WWE, he always takes long breaks,
Yeah.
But in AEW, he doesn't want to take a break.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like,
yeah,
did he like make an agreement with Tony Khan? It's like, okay, I'll be here with you. Because yeah, he is the guy, and because he's getting older as well, so he's not having banger matches anymore, right?
Yeah.
He's often, when I see him, I'm like, bro, you're overstaying your welcome. And I hate saying that about a guy who's one of my legit favorites for so many years.
Yeah, he knows better, right? I mean, he should know of all people would know, like, okay, I'm feeling like I'm a bit stale. I think I need to do something different. Or,
like go away, shave your head or whatever, like,
Yeah. So yeah, there was also a sad thing that as I was watching the match, I was like, wow, Chris Jericho is there, but like, who cares? Yeah.
That being said, like you mentioned, Wardlow won. It makes sense. He needs to get that, second run at something after they completely cooled him off against MJF when he came off and he was fire.
Yeah, it was a shame. But you know what, Wardlow, I think needs to be reheated. Like we all know, 2 years ago he was the biggest deal ever. He was supposed to be the breakout star. Again, Tony Khan dropped the ball with him, and I hope this is the start of him being rehabilitated. Like get him back in the world title picture, make him a badass, a heel, which is what they're doing now. So hopefully it leads to something for him.
Yeah, let's talk about Roderick Strong versus Orange Cassidy. Okay, I have to be very honest. I think I might have fallen asleep. I wasn't paying attention. You guys know I was super tired. Okay, the past couple of days, I didn't really pay attention to this match. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this match. Did you enjoy it? I only perked up at the end. Right? When he won, and then, the return, right, of Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Roderick Strong with his Adam, that whole gimmick is, he has a personality now, I guess. And that was like the biggest criticism that he had in WWE, where he was like the great worker but no personality.
Bro, so Diamond Mine, bro. They gave him a faction to be the leader of.
And then he's still rabak, bro. so in AEW, he's developed personality, but like, we haven't really seen much of him in the ring.
Yeah.
You'll be very interested to know my take is that I actually enjoyed this match.
Okay.
Not because of Orange Cassidy's shenanigans or whatnot. It was because I suddenly, out of nowhere, this was NXT Roderick Strong, bro, with his work rate.
No, but he's always had a great work rate. He's always had great matches. It's just that like you said, zero personality.
Yeah, but in this match, he had his personality because of all the stuff that, Undisputed Kingdom was doing, by the ringside, how he was interacting with the audience and all that. But it was a well-wrestled, smart match. Like, I'm a big fan of matches where, somebody targets a body part and then, works on it and it really tells the story. Because I think that's the school of Bret Hart, right? It's not the school of Goldberg. It's the school of Bret Hart. Right? And in this match, clearly they're trying to tell a story that Orange Cassidy is very, very injured and his body has been abused from all these title defenses, trying to carry this title for a long time. And, being the messiah of the backbreaker, Roderick Strong did a whole bunch of crazy ass moves on his back. And ultimately that did it, that his body just failed him. And that was the story that was being told. So in a nutshell, like in a vacuum, this was a good match, in my opinion.
Right, yeah. And then you got the return of Kyle O'Reilly as well, which Like, I love the Undisputed Era, that whole, faction. I think they were great together.
Yeah.
Did you feel like his return was a bit of a waste? Like, he literally just came back, hug, had a moment, and that's it. Yeah. Like, he didn't do anything. And he did look like he was in a shirt, right? But you could tell, like, okay, he's been putting on some bulk.
Yeah, first things first, I love the new look, bro. I mean, his long beard, his long hair. Sure. He looks like I don't know, like a redhead Jesus, I guess.
to be fair, a lot of people rock the beard and hair, so I'm like, that look, I would rather him come out bald. At least he would look different. So I disagree with you on the look. Like, the look in terms of he looked jacked, yeah, sure. But yeah, like...
Okay, you agree that you like his body's physique?
Yes, bro. Now? I like his body, bro. Let me tell you about how much I like his body.
You like his body, I like his hair and face. Right? We can agree on that. But you know what? I think we can agree on. What kind of outfit was that, bro? He looked like he just come out from camping.
Bro, no, bro, that's the thing, right? Like, there's there's something about AEW, like, they don't dress the part. Right?
They don't dress well, yeah.
When you see Nick Aldis backstage, he's in a full-on suit. Yeah, Johnny Sins, aka Adam Pearce, he's slightly less dressed up, but at least he has a sports blazer. They all play the part of an athlete, a big-time athlete. They dress the part. With AEW guys, it's like, it's just like, they just came from camping, or they just came from having brunch.
Yeah, and I think that really adds a lot to the effect. Like, bro, remember when Triple H returned 2002? Biker leather denim jacket, you look like a beast.
Yeah.
I think if he came back in a leather jacket, I think it would have looked so much way more cooler.
That's the one thing. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe they just want to be relatable. They want to be real. Like, they dress the way we dress, right? Shorts, t-shirt. But this is the world of professional. It's a spectacle. You should be not say above, but you get my point, right?
Yeah, you should be ready for TV. You should be ready for people to see you.
Look at Cody Rhodes. Comes out in a suit. He looks like an athlete. Yeah, like a star. Even NBA guys, a lot of them, they dress well, they carry themselves.
Yeah, even the footballers, they got swag, bro. They dress like they're going, they look that they can be a hype beast,
Yeah, hype beast, bro.
Yeah. So, that was the only thing that, but I am intrigued to see where this goes, because a healthy Kyle O'Reilly, he's definitely a great wrestler, and everybody loves his wrestling style. I was wondering whether he would be feuding against the Undisputed Kingdom or going to be part of them. That's the question.
Yeah, they kind of left it hanging, right? Because he had a look like, is he going to attack? Is he going to hug? But they hugged it out. But then, okay, we'll see. This is a wait and see. But is it something that will make me watch Dynamite again?
Well, that's why I'm here for you, Mr. Young.
Bro, you are not even going to watch Dynamite. What are you talking about?
No, I won't. But, maybe our bros, Mr. Gaddafi or Najwan will fill us in, because, they're still watching it regularly.
Tovakin says, isn't that reserved for Eddie? Homeless chic, that is. That's how they use homeless chic.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? If you want one guy to dress like a bum, right, make sure he's the only guy on your roster that dresses like a bum. So he stands out. Yeah.
So like Eddie Kingston, like John Moxley.
Yeah. Just the two of them, then the rest dressed, well. I think that would be the ideal. Okay, anyway, enough. We spent too much time on the International Championship. Let's go to the next match.
Let's talk about the tag team match. The BCC versus FTR. As much as I actually did enjoy this match, right? Despite the fact that John Moxley was in it. I have so much love for FTR. But I really wish they didn't resign. When they resigned, yes, Vince was still in charge. Like, can you imagine Papa H having Revival the tag team division right now, as opposed to them getting beat week in, week out? Like, remember when they were the most popular tag team? When the music played, only the crowd cheer.
Yeah, bro. I'll give you a wet dream, bro. I'll give you a wet dream right now.
Oh shit, no.
Imagine, FTR re-signed to WWE. FTR versus the Creed brothers, bro.
Oh, dude.
Or FTR versus Alpha Academy, and let Chad Gable cook with them.
Oh, I've soiled myself. Yeah. Hey, hello. Alpha Academy and the Revival have had feuds in NXT before, and we know they put on banger matches.
Yeah, but it was with I think Jason Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jason, the other Alpha.
Yeah, but Otis is still a great wrestler, without all his craziness. But the point I'm trying to say is, I think you're right. I feel like the land of misfit punk friends who got
Yeah,
left behind by him. I
there you
was
go.
thinking, bro.
Yeah, Ricky Starks. Now you got FTR. So they're just there riding their contract out, and hopefully they go back to Papa H whenever their
Yeah.
contract is up. Um, I so FTR are faces. Blackpool
Mhm.
Combat Club depends on the day they are face or heel.
Mhm.
Kind of
Mhm.
right.
But the thing about FTR is like it's clear what they are. Like, they are baby faces, they're tag team, they're well thought out tag team. But what this match shows me is like, are they trying to test run John Moxley and Claudio as like a more permanent tag team as part
I,
of the BCC?
you know what? I would rather take that than a solo John Moxley run. I cannot take that again.
Yeah, yeah. John Moxley has really fallen off the card, bro. Like he compared to Seth Rollins and
Oh,
Roman Reigns. You know what? You know what's crazy? When he first came to AEW, like that first year where he was
mm,
like AEW champion, running, leading the company, he felt like a top star to the
yeah,
level of how Roman Reigns was and Seth Rollins was.
yeah.
But something went happened along the lines where either he just got not say complacent, but he just
It's
put his
his
foot off the gas or he don't care anymore. I don't know what it is, but
it's his style. He wants to do this style of wrestling where he doesn't sell, he just goes overboard with everything.
yeah, but you don't look the part. That's the problem, right? If you don't sell, but
Yeah.
you look like freaking Gunther, like,
Yeah.
okay, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy. But he really looks like a homeless bum, and it's almost as if he's leaning into it. Like he's becoming more homeless, as we go along.
He has the homeless strength, bro. Don't judge the homeless, okay? They
Yeah,
have a lot of
yeah,
strength in them. Yeah, and the person I actually feel bad about the most is Claudio, who we
yeah,
all know is a freaking incredible wrestler. Who's
yeah,
in
yeah.
like he has strength out the wazoo. Like there's a guy who shouldn't be selling if there's anybody.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Claudio, I think if he came back right now, imagine the banger matches he can have with Seth Rollins because he
Yeah.
did have a banger match in
Mm.
WrestleMania 31. Yeah, he left at a time where Triple H wasn't in charge yet. So
Yeah.
again, he's one of those. What if he was under the WWE umbrella right now? It's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What did you think of the match?
I mean, it was a good tag team match. Of course, it was well anchored by FTR.
Yep.
Actually, John Moxley didn't rub me the wrong way in this match. Like he was
Because he's only one quarter of the equation, not half.
yeah, he was well reined in. Like his
Yeah.
worst tendencies were reined in this match, and they highlighted FTR BCC well, but again, it just felt like a no stakes match. Like it
Yep.
didn't mean anything, unfortunately, and that's sad lah because of the talent involved.
But that is a storytelling problem which we all know. Like AEW has a long-term storytelling or just promotion and booking, which Tony Khan really needs to assign other people to do. But let's move on.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to this match. It kind of bored me. I think the timeless gimmick is kind of run its course. I don't know. You tell me. Timeless Tony Storm versus Diona Purrazzo.
I haven't watched enough AEW to be annoyed by it yet. Maybe if you watch it week in, week out, you like probably get, tired of it. She's hilarious during press conferences, I gotta
Sure.
say though.
Sure.
Tony Storm is hilarious during press conferences. I think during this press conference, she challenged Wendy Richter to turn up at Big Business, AEW Big Business. So, that thing is still a running joke. But this match itself, I couldn't care less. Like,
Yep.
yeah, because Diona Purrazzo is not a big enough star, or like I know they try to tell the story of them being best friends or ex-best
Yep.
friends, but she's not a big enough star for me to care
Is
about that story.
what is happening for those of you who have been paying attention to AEW like week in week out? What is their women's division like right now? Like for real?
Well, they only highlight these days, right? To be honest, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Chris Statlander,
Yeah.
the people that we used to really care about, like the Britt Bakers, is nowhere on television.
Where's Thunder Rosa? Where is
So Thunder Rosa seems to be a Collision exclusive. She's only been wrestling I think squash matches since she came back. So I don't know whether she's working her way back.
she's in the
to
CM Punk category?
Yeah, again, because she loves CM Punk.
Right. All the island of CM Punk friends. They're all just,
Yeah.
jobbing around.
Yeah, I mean Britt, I don't know whether it's an injury thing, but I really kind of miss Britt on TV.
Yeah.
And Jamie Hater, I think, still working her way back from injury. So these people's, I mean, they have numbers, but the number of overstars is like it's an AEW world wide problem, right? They don't have enough over
Yeah.
wrestlers.
Yeah. because they haven't been able to build. All right, let's move on to the next match, which, okay. This match, we're talking about Will Ospreay versus Takeshita, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you like this style of wrestling, this was a great match. If you roll your eye at the fact that you can get dropped on your neck and just pop right back up, then that, which is you know that's me, right? Then you're like, ah. So, did you enjoy this match?
Wow, okay. So I don't know what this says about my preference for wrestling, but I actually like this match.
Okay. You know what it
match.
is? The funny thing, because last night I was playing WWE 2K24, it's a video game match.
Yeah, but I think there is a place for a video game match if it's just one match on the card.
Yeah. The problem is, like, when you had Young Bucks, you had the Lucha Bros all across the card, and you had several of those type of matches, it got a bit much. So in the context of this card, I guess it worked, right?
Yes, that's the point I'm trying to make. This match stood out so much because I thought that this was the only match of its kind on this card, and I enjoyed it. And okay, another thing as well, when we talk about Flippy Shit or like indie wrestlers and all that, at least, right, the two of them don't look like indie rejects.
Yeah, they look like stars. They do look like stars. Yeah.
Takeshita, I think they were talking about it like he's a decathlon athlete. He does runs hurdles and does all the crazy stuff. I mean, bro, the guy has the body, bro. He looks like if Tanahashi was 20 years younger and his knees were still working. Like, he got that broad, chest, like a big guy. So Takeshita is like, to me, the most promising Japanese star that is currently on any big major roster right now. And then you got Will Ospreay, who is, trying to establish himself as like, I think the way Tony Khan seems to position him is he's going to be the guy that take over that CM Punk spot as like a major draw in his own way.
I think he's more to take over Kenny Omega's spot more than CM Punk.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Okay, I will not agree that, because he's definitely not the level of draw as CM Punk. He is the same level as Kenny Omega. So he is the replacement for Kenny, not CM Punk.
Yeah. And I believe that, there is a place for that as well. Like, you need that top work rate so-called guy in on the roster that can do all these crazy, overly flashy, elaborate moves.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, that is particularly my favorite kind of wrestling. Especially if we are both CM Punk fans or Bret Hart fans. So that clearly is not my kind of wrestling. But together in this match, I felt like they both not only perform all those crazy moves, but they hit hard at each other. Like, it wasn't like choreographed helping each other doing stuff.
Yeah.
They were beating the hell out of each other. And there was even that one spot where, I don't know whether you remember, he did like a brain buster. Takeshita did a brain buster on the top rope. And the way he just dropped him, it looked terrible, but it looks safe in a way. Does it make sense?
Yes, but also, I guess you could argue that at least this is not a Dynamite or Collision. They're doing it on a pay-per-view, a Revolution, one that Sting is retiring on, so there are going to be eyeballs, right? Is the Revolution supposed to be their WrestleMania? Oh, no, or is it all out?
No. They're technically the WrestleMania was supposed to be Double or Nothing, but
Double
again, all four seems to kind of
blend in
the same level at this point. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and like you said, because it did stand out, this was the only quote-unquote style of this type of match, right? That's why it was a lot more palatable. Then again, I still keep going back to every time you kick out of something that looks like it could have paralyzed him, it cheapens the move. It cheapens it, and it makes it hard for anybody to follow that.
Yeah.
Which is why, and when we get into the next match, this is why I didn't really enjoy the more main event matches.
Yeah. Okay. If nothing else, right, I thought the ending was good because the second last move was the freaking Tiger Driver 91, right? Which was everyone knows is one of the most dangerous moves in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
And it attacked the neck, right?
Yeah.
So that was the second last move, and then immediately Will Ospreay transitioned and did his hidden blade finisher, which again attacked the neck, and that ends the match. So from a psychology standpoint, it worked for me, right?
Yeah, but that's true. But it seems like every match he's had in New Japan,
if you the style,
like he literally does these same series of moves, and I feel like I've said this from he kept targeting the neck. So there's nothing new if you've watched Will Ospreay before.
Yeah. So one thing Ospreay needs to learn, and I hope in AEW, he learns this. He needs to learn how to sell. He needs to
Yeah.
learn how to be in peril.
Bro, he's not going to learn this in AEW. We all know that for a fact. AEW is the land of no sell.
Wait. But that is if he's only working with his friends, right?
Yeah.
But I believe if he does a program with Christian Cage, right? If he does a program with Samoa Joe,
Yeah.
Samoa
Cage
Joe
is going to
won't-
be like, fuck no, bro. I'm not doing that shit, bro.
yeah, and Samoa Joe is not gonna. Oh, you don't want to sell for me? You
Oh,
wait.
he-
I go rimbat. You know what I mean? He will really make him sell. So like, I think there are enough proper wrestlers in AEW, but he needs to be in the right clique. Like he cannot just work with his quote unquote friends, if you know what I mean.
Well, we'll see how it goes. And
Yeah.
let's not even forget about the booking.
Yeah.
For all we know. Okay, so now you got Ospreay beating Takeshita. They're all under Don Callis. What happens next?
Yeah, apparently they teasing on Dynamite a match between him and Carl Fletcher, which of course they were all part of United Empire. So I think they're gonna run the gauntlet of him like working with all of the Don Callis family and eventually turning babyface. And Don Callis is gonna turn on him eventually, right?
Yeah.
So again, so this is his test audition to be a babyface. He needs to learn how to sell,
Yeah.
like a Cody Rhodes.
Mm.
That's it is.
And
Yeah.
also, I mean, we talked about it too before, right? This style of wrestling is not something you can do for a very long time, lah. And
Agreed.
there's one thing to be said. Like, look at Roman Reigns. I mean, he obviously takes breaks in between, but he's more over than he's ever been. And he doesn't have to be dropped on his neck every week.
Yeah. Somebody said on the chat or on Discord, like, they were more invested in The Rock acknowledging Roman Reigns
Yeah.
than, like people killing themselves in this
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? So look, I know like some people, they love the athleticism and the artistry, I get whatever, right?
Yep.
But they need to find a medium because we all want them to have long, healthy careers and lives.
Yeah. Honestly, if Will Ospreay can give this kind of match 4 times a year on all the big pay-per-views,
Yeah.
and then everything else work like a chill level and like really rely on his personality and promos, perfect. Great wrestler.
But is it because he cannot, he doesn't have that?
He needs to develop. No, but I think he was really honest during the press conference. Again, I think really watching the press conference is so interesting for me, personally as a fan. He admitted that this is his first time performing on camera, like playing to an audience, looking at a hard cam because he never had that training in New Japan. So he said that he is gonna go on this journey in North America in AEW together with all of them, all of the fans. And he says that he wants you guys to know that I'm starting from this level. And by the time all is said and done, I'm gonna be worthwhile in every aspect of wrestling. I came here not to be a better wrestler, but to be a better overall performer. So I think he's aware of his own flaws and he wants to work on it. So I hope he makes the right decisions and be friends with the right people in AEW. That's what I hope.
Wow, don't you just said that though. It has to be, make the right friends with the right people. I mean,
who is the right friends? Who is the right people in AEW?
Well, we'll leave that up to you to decide. All right, let's talk about the 3-way for the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. And once again, let's go back to how do you follow an arcade match like the one that just, happened?
Well, you gotta do a different kind of match, right? You can't be the same shit, right? Of course, the big factor in this match that to me will make this serviceable is Samoa Joe. Joe,
bro. The word serviceable, bro.
Yeah.
How is your AEW World Championship match? For all intents and purposes, this is a toilet break match. This is the match you put in between like a high, right? Like the high of that ridiculously hard-hitting match. That if that's your type of match, that's your type of match. You're probably pumped on adrenaline. And then you have to come back down. And they put the world title match there. What is that?
Okay, but there's a couple of things going for this match, right? First, you have Samoa Joe as champion. We all like him as champion.
Sure.
Then you have, if nothing else, the rivalry between Swerve and Hangman feels legitimate, right? There's this legit animosity towards each other. You can feel the hatred. And when this match, the bell rang, right? They were going at it like crazy, ravenous wolves. So, if nothing else, that it made me invested in their hatred for each other. My problem was this match went off the rails because they were so fixated on telling that story of their hatred for each other. They
Mm.
didn't tell the story of them wanting to win the AEW championship as much. It got
Right.
lost in the shuffle of them. And that played into the finish, right? You
Yeah.
remember they said that the commentators were hinting like, oh, was Hangman Page tapping out because he was losing or because he didn't want
Yeah.
Swerve to win?
That is so stupid. You're there to win the main title.
Yeah.
Right? Like how the fact that they even tried to slip that in as a possible like reason, it was like roll eye, you know. Actually chat suggests that this should have been the start of the pay-per-view. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, yeah. They should have started the pay-per-view with that. At least then, you know, you didn't have anything to follow, quote unquote.
Yeah. You know,
Joe was an afterthought in his own championship match. Well, it is what it is, huh?
Okay, I want to address something what Muhammad Gaddafi is saying. Like, just enjoy wrestling. Why everything must compare to everything? You know what? I'll say my piece on this. Like, I feel like you're not comparing wrestling to wrestling. I think every style of wrestling has its place,
Mm-hmm.
but but to me everything that needs to have the pulling thread that makes all of wrestling good, right?
Mm.
Is it has to connect with an audience and
Yeah.
there has to be a logical thread throughout it. Even if you do crazy over the top shit, right? It's because I hate this guy so much, I'm willing to
Yeah.
do crazy over the top shit.
Believability.
Yeah.
Realism.
Even if it's in the over the okay, like for example, everyone knows that, you know, R-Truth is comedic wrestler. He does all this stupid shit,
Mm.
but he believes in it.
Yeah.
So that you are like invested in it as well,
Yeah,
right?
Is that like commitment to the character, the bit like your broken Matt Hardy or
Yeah.
you know whatever.
Yeah. So like in regards to this three way, I feel like I believe the hatred between, you know, Swerve and Hangman, which was good. That was really, really good. And if they were trying to tell a story that because of their hatred, they distracted them from winning the world title,
Mm-hmm.
while that makes sense logically, but unfortunately that makes, again, like the chat says, your championship an afterthought. And that shouldn't be the case with Samoa Joe as your champion.
Exactly. Well, it is what it is, you know. It's Tony Khan lah, doing what he does best, which is let, you know, certain people run shit when they shouldn't be running shit and letting his worst instincts get in the way.
Well, at the end of the day, Samoa Joe survived with the title. I thought that was the right decision. As much as I feel like, you know, Swerve eventually will win the title this year, I believe in my heart that he will. Mm-hmm. This was not the right time. I think he needs a bit more stakes, a bit more adversity to become the title. And I think he's going to turn babyface eventually. Right. Like he can't stay as a heel. Everyone loves him too much.
I like what Irvin pointed out in chat. In trying to get everyone over, no one is over. Does that feel like the case for AEW right now, where no one is truly outstanding because everyone is trying to make everyone look good?
Yeah, very interesting. Very, I thought that was a well thought out perspective.
It's like if you need to break eggs to make an omelet, right? How do you make an omelet without breaking any eggs? You know?
Yeah, I get you. Like, but again, one thing I hope that they really adhere to, if they're going to do a ranking system and they say like, oh, you need to be up the ranking system, then you can, you know, qualify to, you know, contend for the title. They better keep to it. They really better make sure that the people who become the world title contenders are deserving. It's not some random, okay, one time I'm going to let Hook fight you for some reason.
And follow up on storylines. I mean, that's the, you know, criticism that we've had about the product for a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Dovigin is off on this whole thing about everyone kicking out at one after finisher LOL. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It was great when, like, I think was it Kenny Omega or somebody did it one time. But like suddenly everyone is doing it.
It's that style. You make the moves look cheap. It's like, you know, when you do a swan dive off the top rope and you get up immediately. You know, it's that stuff that just you break the believability. It's like bad CGI in a movie.
Yeah, but it's actually the easiest thing to do. Somebody hits you, it hurts, you stay down longer. Like
yeah, you just they come from the school of no selling. What?
I wouldn't no sell something that I know hurts. You know what I mean? Like okay, so maybe they just want to prove that they're tough guys. I don't know.
Whatever it is, right? Let's move on to the main event. Okay, look. Here's the thing. Everything can be forgiven because this was a match that was supposed to be Sting's retirement. It's like, you know what? It's like Flair. Remember when Flair had that retirement match?
Yeah,
it did not matter that the whole thing looked hokey as F. Like everyone was like selling, overselling, because we knew this was in tribute. So this transcends the idea of we need to try to make this at least look legitimate. I still believe that, Ric Flair should have retired against Shawn Michaels. That was the perfect send-off, but, it's a different conversation altogether lah.
Yeah.
I didn't have as big or as much a problem with this match as I think most people assumed I would have. I think that Darby Allin killing himself is literally his gimmick. So, I'm like, okay, shit. Like the whole thing off the ladders with the glass and everything. Oh, good God, man. The only thing I hope is, for the love of God, let this be for something. Let this mean something and not just like, Darby Allin just phased off into the background next week and the next upcoming months, which we know has happened so many times.
Yeah, I agree with you. But can I say something that, might come across as like a very hot take? I thought the Young Bucks played their role perfectly in this match. I thought they did a good job being the villains and making the story about Sting overcoming their adversity in this match.
No, I agree with you 100%. Like I said, you can forgive a lot of this match, the quote-unquote lapse in logic or the overbooking, with the suns coming out dressed in the different era face paints, right? And the costumes. You can forgive a lot of that because this is a tribute to Sting. This is not like, a title match or it's a retirement match. We're celebrating Sting here, so that's fine.
Yeah. No, that's true, right? So, like, I thought that, Sting being his age, right? You can't do much with him, We all accept that, this is his style of match that he can do at this stage of his career. He can only do hardcore matches where it's less about, pro wrestling, but more of like, masking
theatrics.
His theatrics, all these so-called illusions to kind of mask his deficiencies at his age.
The gaga, he can't go 100% because of his age, so you just pimp it out with a whole lot of gaga. I think it was done perfectly well. I tell you what was not done perfectly well. And you know exactly what I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, anybody who has ever worked with me knows from a work perspective, right? Let's not talk about like hobbies and stuff like that. With my hobbies, I very anyhow. But when it comes to my work, right, I'm very insistent on doing things right, getting timing right, being on time, be early, okay? And you know where I'm going with this. Because the fact that Sting's retirement, he had to be wrapped up. He even literally said, I'm getting cues. And this goes back to like, there was the whole, set your DVRs to, record the next show. That was that whole thing that was going on with, what's his name? Dave Meltzer. And all the AEW apologists, right? About how AEW, Tony Khan, doesn't know how to format and times his goddamn show, right? And now, literally, that's why I'm so insistent when it comes to work. You need to train yourself to be disciplined so that when it matters, you won't cock it up. And they cocked it up.
Yeah, I know. They ran him off the air while he was in the middle of his speech.
How do you run Sting? This is his retirement match. How do you run him off while he was doing his farewell speech? Whatever, it's like, I'm getting cues. Oh my God. Like, that was the moment.
You know what's the worst part? They actually could have salvaged this. It was as simple as, Sting says, you know what? I have a lot to talk to you, but I'll talk to you off the air. At least say that, I'll save my comments for after the show or something like that. At least end it for the pay-per-view audience on a good note where the music plays and have it as a post pay-per-view exclusive. But he was literally in the middle of talking, so that means they didn't plan it out. They just end it.
Because that's what they do every single week on Dynamite. They overrun. 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like I say, it's a compounding thing. If you are not disciplined on a daily basis, you are not going to be disciplined when it counts. And this was one of those moments where it counts. So it's like...
Don't let them become like WCW where the pay-per-view feed cut off halfway through the finish of the match. Don't be that bad.
Like, how can you... Okay, honestly, there were some matches on the card. Right now, I'm looking at all the timings. Could have been 5 minutes shorter. It could have gone to Sting. But because they have such poor discipline when it comes to their timing of the matches and their show in general, that's why shit like this happens.
Not every match needs to be a 20-minute banger, short matches does serve its purpose.
Yeah.
And especially it helps with the flow of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this might be a hot take, but if you took Tony Storm versus Deanna Purrazzo off this card, I don't think anyone would have missed it, and you would have given Sting his moment. You take the Wardlow, the scramble match out, you could have given him his moment.
Yeah, exactly. Like again, so I think this is a failure on management's part, or like the way they planned it. But honestly, I thought just overall, just for the match itself, I think they couldn't have done it better lah. They did Sting's story justice. I love the vignette that they played right before he came out, where he was sitting in the theater, looking at his past moments. I think that was great. I got the feels, and it's been a while since AEW gave me that feel. So if nothing else, they did Sting right in his entire AEW run. So I can't complain much about that.
Not right enough to actually let him have a farewell speech, but
beggars can be choosers.
Oh boy. Okay, so there you go. That was the AEW Revolution. Very quickly, guys, give us a number rating upon 10. What do you give it?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, because my expectations were low, they always are. I actually generally enjoyed it, other than the nitpicky stuff. So I give it a 6.5, a 7.
Wow. Okay, I'm happy to hear Mr. Young's thoughts on that. I honestly thought this was actually one of their better pay-per-views in a while. Like, definitely better than World's End.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this more than Full Gear. And definitely All Out was a shit show lah. All In, I think, was the last AEW pay-per-view that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So in this regards, it's their best pay-per-view in half a year, in my opinion.
Sure.
So I would give it like a good solid 8. And I'm grading it on the AEW curve. I'm not grading it on the WWE curve.
WWE, yeah, no, not WWE. Wrestling in general, entertainment value curve. Let's be fair, because we are not comparing. We're comparing this as a entertainment product. We're rating it as a pro wrestling product.
Yeah. So when I look at it just based on like whether I enjoyed it, I could sit through most of the pay-per-view and didn't get bored. I was doing my work while I was watching at the same time. So like there were certain times where I actually put down my work and like, oh, I want to watch this sequence. To me, I consider that, okay, they got my attention. Again, the question for AEW is how can they build on this momentum? Because right now, we know for a fact that they're just going to vacate the titles.
Yeah.
It's going to be another tournament. So, and then like, Darby's going to go away to climb Mount Everest. So I hope he comes back alive, praying to God. So I hope when he comes back, push him as a single star, bring him up to your main event seat, because I think Darby, everyone loves Darby in AEW. He's an AEW original. Yeah. Give him that moment. Also, don't forget about the Young Bucks. How can they continue with this momentum as these crazy EVPs? Because they've put over Sting, and I thought they did a brilliant job in playing the foils to Sting. So you can't hate them for that. So now how can they show their anger or like, throw a tantrum for losing to Sting?
Right.
That is something that I'm actually curious to see what the Young Bucks does next.
Well, like, it'll be interesting. And you talked about how, like, BCC, John Moxley and Claudio, are they now in contention for the, the quote unquote vacated title, right?
Yeah,
so there are a lot of options, but the question is that I pose to you, my friend. Did anything on this card make you want to watch Dynamite on Wednesday? Or Collision or Rampage? Well, forget about Rampage. Nobody watches that shit. But, yeah. Are you like, okay, there's something, I want to see the next step for, one of these storylines or anybody.
I won't watch next week's one or this coming week's one, but I will watch it the week after, which is AEW Big Business.
Oh, the one where
Boston is happening. So yeah, I'm curious to see that. But again, AEW hasn't made me I need to watch every single week kind of fan yet. Like, Raw has done it for me, right?
Yes.
There was a time when, we couldn't sit through Raw 3 hours. Don't care what happens. But now, every single week, especially this is WrestleMania season, every single WWE show feels like must-see. And it's going to take a while for AEW to become that hot of a product again, in my opinion.
Well, we just need one. We always say this. We just need one mega draw to get eyeballs. The problem is AEW doesn't have that one mega draw. We love Samoa Joe. He's not the mega draw. MJF was the guy. MJF is injured.
Yeah. Well, MJF, it seems like everything risks on MJF coming back and having that crazy program with Adam Cole. And Adam Cole needs to step up and become that main eventer again for that to happen.
The funny thing is, remember, his whole gripe was Vince wanted him to be a manager of a group on the main roster. He was like, nah, fam. And then now that's exactly what he's doing on AEW. He's a manager of a faction.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But, you can't help it. It's just shit happens. So, yeah, that's my AEW review. And I see a lot of people have given it 6, 6.5, 7, 8. I mean, we're all, in agreement.
Because, okay, and here's the other thing as well, right? It's a very different model from WWE's PLEs because those are, if you have a subscription, you're going to get to watch it anyway. Yeah. Right? So it's about getting you to watch the next show. So that's how they sort of plan their programming. Whereas really for AEW, it's selling pay-per-views. Like I said, it's an indie mindset. I'm not, once again, people get very tilted when I say, oh, it's an indie mindset, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Yeah, like we established earlier, right?
Yeah, it's just that it doesn't lend itself, that style, quote unquote, doesn't lend itself to weekly viewing. That's why, just like you, I have no interest in watching Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision. But the pay-per-view itself, everyone showed out. Those who work well, who are good workers, who are talented individuals, will make their programs work. But it doesn't bleed into the next week or the following week. It's not must-watch television.
Correct. And maybe they are gonna try to remedy it by having more pay-per-views, apparently, to help sell their TV. You heard the news, right? They're gonna have another pay-per-view before Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the idea. I think what needs to happen is better storytelling and better, a reason to watch the weekly show. The weekly shows sell the pay-per-views, not the other way around.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Well, AEW Dynasty is happening in April, so we shall see whether this is worth something.
Is it April Fool's? Is that an April Fool's joke? Is that what it is?
It's legitimately gonna be a pay-per-view in April. So, well, they're gonna have more pay-per-views. So, yay, more things to review, I guess.
All right, there you go. That's AEW Revolution. Very quickly, I want to talk about what's happening this upcoming Saturday as well, right? Saturday, 9th of March. Grapplemax, they are going to be at this interesting place. I'm not sure if it's new, the Southern Depot. Do you know much about the Southern Depot? I know you are a lifestyle writer last time, so you are into everything that's hip. And you have your finger on the pulse of what's cool, foreign. Tell me about Southern Depot if you know anything about it.
Bro, you push me up, bring me up so high only for me to disappoint you. I have no idea what the hell this is. Okay, but we know that it's happening at Gilman Barracks. I do not know whether Gilman Barracks rebranded or this Southern Depot is the name of a festival that's happening in Gilman Barracks, but it's supposedly happening at Gilman Barracks.
Okay. So very quickly, I did a Google search. I show you. Wait, hang on.
With the research.
The Southern Depot. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up to give a little more context to what the heck we're talking about.
It feels like a reopening or grand opening of something.
Okay, here we go. Do you see it?
Cycles, I see it.
Craft, community, the Southern Depot by Didi. What the heck is Didi, Sial?
Okay. Bro, you just gave your voice-over voice. Come on, let me hear more of it.
Welcome to the Southern Depot. We celebrate urban lifestyle and culture around craft and the joy of two wheels. Similan, two wheels. Oh, okay. I mean, it looks pretty cool. You see, they got yoga studio, got grills. So it's like, I don't want to say artsy-fartsy, but it seems like a sort of like an urban space for, things to happen. Like, got pottery, bro. Pottery. Come.
Okay. So
then you can take the pot and use as a foreign object and hantam people.
Basically, it's like if you feeling hipster, you want to go for a date, or just looking for something cool to do, then you check this out lah, essentially, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, obviously, they have like makan options as well, and it's an event space as well.
Okay, I'm waiting for the slide to show the thing that we care about right now on the podcast.
Okay, so I don't have that. But what I can tell you is that Grapplemax will be doing a whole thing there. And it's called Battle at the Barracks because it's at Gilman Barracks, right? So, okay, we know where it is. It's going to be fun. From what I've seen, and please correct me if I'm wrong, if the Grapplemax folks are in the chat. I know Najwan is here. There are 3 matches announced. There are just the 3 matches.
And apparently they say that this is canon, so this is part of ongoing Grapplemax storyline. Well, here in Kick to the Gut, we are very interested in local wrestling because, as we have announced, earlier on in our season, this year we are ranking our wrestlers, our local wrestlers, as part of our Singapore Top 20 initiative. That's happening right there on our Patreon. So whether it's me going to the shows, Mr. Young going to the shows, our intern Saleh going to the shows, our fellow Patreon members going to the shows, we are encouraging you guys to go rank the wrestlers, and then we're going to bring them all together and compile them in a list.
Yes.
Yes.
We want this to be a community-driven effort as well, so it's not just us giving our rankings. No, we want everybody to have their say. The last event, we had a couple of you, the Patreons at the event. It contributed to our score. By the way, you can see Foreign's entire breakdown and review of all the Singapore wrestlers on our Patreon as well. So if you haven't already, hey, go drop us a follow there and sign up for whatever you're comfortable with. We absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah, so I know, Mr. Young, you're going to be repping Kick to the Gut and going to be there attending this event. Are you curious to see who's going to do well? Because right now, based on our previous event, we got our so-called veterans of Grapplemax kind of like leading the race in the star ratings, right? I mean, if you want to, for the full breakdown, you can see or join us on Patreon. But Lady Killer and Big Dave got the highest star ratings based on the previous event, right?
I'm not surprised because they are the veterans as well in the industry here in Singapore. Okay, you're looking at the poster, which I have to say very well done. Nashwan, I know he puts out bangers, but this one is particularly awesome because of the vibe, right? Battle of the Barracks is the grungiest concept show we've ever done. Featuring your... free voiceover for you. Featuring your favorites, including Showtime Inc., Ban Sachek, and Ships... Oh, can we... Hang on. We just said the name, Ships Ahoy. And Fiat says, Ships Ahoy versus Foreign. When?
Okay. First of all, it's almost 2 o'clock, so it's time to end the podcast. So...
You want to escape this question, huh?
Wait. I'm not escaping the question. I mean, I won't be able to make it this Saturday because... I have girlfriend, boyfriend, plans. But all I can say is, Mr. Ya, let me know if people want to talk trash on the show about us, okay? Let me know. Just let me know.
I will film it down just for you, okay? And then we'll see. Like I said, hey, if you don't want to get on the mat in the ring, there's always WWE 2K24.
And of course, whatever I said last week, my offer still remains. Any female wrestler from Grapplemax who is interested in my managerial services, who want to, take care of this issue, let me know. Hit me up.
All right, let's break down the matches, the 3 matches that are on Grapplemax's Instagram page right now. We got Julian versus Nathaniel. Okay, we talked a lot about Julian. He is in Showtime Inc. And we did mention, all right, we'd like to see him step up and, shine in that group because they have their gimmick, they have their whole thing down. Like, you believe them when, they do what they do, right? It's just, as far as the whole Showtime Inc., maybe it's time for Julian to step out and shine a bit.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm curious about Nathaniel because clearly we don't really know much about him or understand where his placement is on the card. I believe he's one of the new, rather new wrestlers or just past a great one.
In the poster, he's wearing a Grapplemax t-shirt. Like, that is like default NXT, Performance Center t-shirt. So,
correct.
Yeah, he's like a new guy, right?
Yeah. So, maybe this is like a proving ground match for Nathaniel. But again, this is a chance. He might surprise us, He might give a good account of himself. So, I'll leave it to you, Mr. Young, to give your analysis of how he performs.
Ken, I am looking forward to it. Hang on, let me see if I can just pull up the photo real quick. For whatever reason, it's not loading up for me properly. But it is interesting. Like, I honestly don't believe I've seen him before. Maybe I have.
Or was he that Grapplemax wrestler that we were calling? Yeah. Doesn't ring a bell.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll be interesting to see lah. And I want to see particularly Julian step up on this one to see what he can bring to the table when it comes to just him being by himself. Oh, by the way, quick mention, it's the old school Grapplemax style, no ring, no ropes. Yeah. So, interesting to see how they, pull that off, even though they've done it before.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Julian as well, because I think he did give a good impression of himself from the last show.
That's correct. All right, here we go. The next match we're going to take a look at, and this is one you'll be very interested in as well, Foreign. Ships Ahoy!
Ships Ahoy versus
Prabhu and Ming Rui.
So
interesting.
Prabhu and Ming Rui, I'm assuming, are the heels in this contest.
Well, that makes sense, right?
Does this make me a heel as well, Mr. Ya?
Ming Rui could be the person you're looking for to corner.
Yeah, I'll keep a close eye on this match. I'll keep a close eye on this match. This is actually the first time this year that we'll see Ships Ahoy in action, right? I mean, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about open house because we didn't watch the show. Yeah, so we'll be curious to see how they perform as a team. What's their plans for the year ahead,
Mm.
as well as Ming Ray as well. She's been featured before, and she's done a great job as well. So we want to see what are the plans for this year for all that. And I'm also curious to see what is this so-called partnership between the Silverback Prabhu and
Uh,
Ming Ray.
I mean, we could be overthinking it. It could just be a one-off because, you needed somebody to face off against Ships Ahoy, right?
Oh, again, so
It's Mingray or TJ.
yeah.
That's kind of about it. That's the problem when you have a small pool.
Yeah, I mean, they just announcing an IWD workshop or for all
Mm.
women. So they are trying to recruit more women, and I do hope we see more talents of that kind,
Right.
gracing us on Grapplemax.
Let's move on. I don't know if this is the main event. It's an interesting tag team too. You talk about continuity being a thing, but all right. So we have the Showtime Inc. boys represented, right? Sean P. Diddy and Kelvin. I'm actually legit excited to see Sean P. Diddy. I've said this many, many times.
You're a fan of him, right?
I am. He gets it. He gets pro wrestling.
That's great. That's great, bro. I'm curious to see your rating for this match, or rating
Yeah.
for the wrestlers in this match, and
And
Aussie, right?
Right. Well, okay. And Kelvin is the quote unquote intern, right? I want to see the interplay between the two. Has he ingratiated himself in Showtime Inc. or is he still the outsider?
Yeah, yeah. I met him as well at the when we were in Perth, Australia for Elimination Chamber. Humble guy. He loves wrestling, and I can tell that he's motivated, especially after seeing wrestling live. I think he has big dreams and big ambitions. So we'll
Yeah.
see how he does.
But look at the Pikey standing next to the like boy. Him in his glasses, right? He looking like he just finished tuition class on a Saturday afternoon, and then you see the Pikey, the gangster next to him.
That's an interesting dynamic, yeah. For
Okay,
Okay.
so talking about interesting dynamic, is YC away or something? So this is Sean of Aussie, but not with his regular partner, with Ban. And Ban is supposed to be in a tag team with Dave, so it's like,
Is it a bit thrown together? Okay, but to be fair, I saw that YC recently got married, so congratulations.
so maybe he's
out
busy
to
lah.
YC.
Yes,
Very,
congrats.
he's very busy, I'm sure. So, congratulations to him. And this could be the reason why, or if there is a storyline reason why as well, we'll be happy to check out, Grapplemax's social media for this.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a very clear-cut face team versus a heel team, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see lah. Like maybe I'm gonna predict. You know what my prediction is? Ban loses because he's such a good guy. He doesn't want to cheat. That's his whole thing with Dave, right? And then moving forward, we see Dave is like, see lah, without me, you cannot win.
I wonder whether Dave would make an appearance somehow in this match, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah.
To help Ban, but Ban's like, no, I don't need your help.
Yeah. That could be very interesting. So, if you guys haven't gotten your tickets, go check out Battle at the Barracks at Southern Depot. It'll be actually a great few weeks of local wrestling because next week SPW Stronghold will be happening, and we'll definitely be around to preview the card and maybe even have a SPW wrestler on the show. So we shall see.
Ooh. Yes. It's going to be a fun time for local wrestling, as it always is. But that being said, every episode before the show starts, I know you guys don't hear this, but before the episode starts, Four and I, we chat a bit, and I'm always like, all right, let's keep it down to 1 hour. Let's keep it down to 1.5. Let's really keep it tight. And look at where we are today, bro. 2 hours, bro.
Okay, come, let's go.
We were like, this is a light week because, we don't have that much to talk about, bro. We always say that. We always end up just, overshooting.
But there's always so much to talk about when it comes to wrestling. And again, we talk about disciplining in timing ourselves. I think it's time to get out of here, Mr. Young.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. As always, please join us on our various social media. We're trying to put up more content on our TikTok. So do us a favor, go and support our TikTok, Kick to the Gut on TikTok. Like all our videos. Help us share it as well if it speaks to you. Then we got, Instagram. I mean, Facebook if you're a boomer.
Yeah, clearly. But clearly there's no one there. But I wanted to say as well. Shout out to all our patrons. You see the new names: Zarifin, Psychotic, Muhammad Daniel recently joined us as well on the Patreon. Thank you so much, and we hope more people will join us on our Ticker stream. And we have great content and potentially more giveaways to give for our Patreon. So stay tuned.
Doverkin says, yes, it's going to rain soon. I heard the thunder. That's why I looked outside like, eh? I don't know why I look because I can't see it. My window is closed. I don't know. It's like a reaction, right? But yeah, the thunder is, the wrestling gods is Tony Khan saying, how dare you talk shit? I'm going to cut the power now.
Wait. To be fair, we didn't talk as much shit. I thought we gave a very fair review of the show.
So did I. But then again, we are biased to ourselves in what we say. So it is what it is. So we have Patreon. So if you'd like to take your support for the podcast to the next level, hey, we appreciate it, my friends. Discord as well for all the conversations on all the different, types of wrestling, all the different federations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to go take a nap. I want to fall asleep right now.
I think the moment you shut off, you turn around, you just sleep already.
True that. It's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building, guys. See you next week.
Good night.